Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope your mercy is prevailing over your wrath wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back for another 1/6 scale figure preview. Well, not one 1/6 scale figure, but two 1/6 scale figures. Coming to us from Inart, from the cult TV series The Walking Dead. So I thought these figures were going to drop later this week, but the pictures have gone up, so I'm assuming the pre-orders are open on this. We have been flooded with a raft of pictures from Inart to whet our appetite, so let's dive in and take a look at what Inart are offering us. And I will say from the get-go here, I am not the world's biggest The Walking Dead fan, I have to say. Now, I know there's been 11 seasons of it. The figures that we're going to look at here are actually lifted from season 8, but I've dipped my toe in and out of The Walking Dead, but I wouldn't call myself a huge aficionado. However, these figures have piqued my interest from Inart, and let's take a look at why that is. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Rick Grimes. There's two figures. We've got Rick Grimes, we've got Negan Smith. Rick Grimes, obviously played by Andrew Lincoln. Let's take a look at Andrew first and see what they're giving us. And the first shot we've got here is this side profile shot. And you can probably see why I am, Mr. Go Figure is suitably excited straight away. This looks stunning. I'm going to say this, I've had a quick flick through the pictures before recording this preview, and both of these pieces look absolutely amazing. I am very, very excited for them, even though I am not the biggest fan, and I may very well end up picking these figures up because, as regulars to the channel will know, I occasionally am drawn to figures, even though they may not be from an IP that I'm a massive fan of, simply because of the sheer quality of the figure itself. But this profile shot is looking simply superb. So, the Rick Grimes figure is actually a rooted hair figure, this one, not sculpted hair, and let's start with that hair. That hair looks absolutely phenomenal, and as we know, Inart are past masters of rooted hair. I have never had any issues with their hair, and the hair work here looks absolutely superb. And throughout this preview, I will pop up some stills of the actors themselves in the top left-hand corner here, so you can see what I mean about the how well they've got the likeness. But that hair looks absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm going to have to lean in here, but it looks to me like what we've got here, judging by this facial hair. This facial hair looks like it might be sculpted to me and then blended in at the temples here with the rooted hair. So I'm suspecting this section here, the whole bearded section, is actually sculpted plastic, and then somewhere around here where the ear line is, we're seeing that join. But the rooted hair itself, the style is absolutely on point, the colour is on point. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing the use of the product that we've seen in the other figures to keep that style in place. But yeah, with their history of rooted hair, I think this is going to be absolutely on point. Looks phenomenal, and the styling is just right. And this, to all intents and purposes, to me, this side profile of Mr. Grimes could have been lifted from the TV show. It could be a still from the TV show. The skin textures, the tones there, I mean, we're not even talking about the accuracy of the sculpting. You've got to forgive me if I'm tripping over my words. Mr. Go Figure is super excited. The accuracy of this head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal, but it's the skin tones and textures there. The creasing in the forehead and above the nose, the subtle changes in skin tone there, the imperfections which are picked out around the cheek area, the slight aging there, because as I remember, as you need to remember here, we are looking at season 8 here, so we're several seasons in. So he's aged a little bit. The eyes look incredible, super glassy, the right colour, that deep blue. Looking phenomenal, and we're also obviously seeing that denim jacket for the first time. I'm not going to fawn over, I'm going to try not to fawn over one picture for too long, because there's simply so many of them, and we'll be here all day, and you don't want to listen to an old man gushing for 3 hours. So let's zip on to the next one. Full on shot, and once again, as you can see here, this, I can't fault that sculpt. I am struggling to see anywhere here where that isn't Rick Grimes. Obviously, well, there's a distinct possibility these are prototype shots. So I'm hoping we don't see any degradation between these photographs and the actual production model itself. But yeah, the texturing on those lips struck me straight away. The texturing in that neck area, and once again the furrows in the eyebrows, the skin texture and tone, phenomenal. Let's zip on to the next one. We pull back a little bit here. We've got a 3/4 shot. He's holding the rifle. We get to see that denim shirt for the first time. Very, very simply done. It's a denim shirt with some weathering on it, but it just looks very, very good indeed and very screen accurate. Also as well, what we're seeing here for the first time, now I'm just going to have to refer to my notes here because I think it's 7. I need to double check here. Yeah, the Rick Grimes figure is doesn't have swappable hands. It has swappable, what I believe are forearms, and you're looking at 7 different forearms here. So you're going to get no ugly seams here. I'm assuming they're going to interchange at the elbow area here. So yeah, 0 seams, and the sculpting on those arms looks absolutely excellent. So yeah, 7 pairs of arms. That's a lot of arms. So yeah, sculpted arms, rooted hair. Inart are treating us. On to the next one. Another 3/4 shot. This time he's gripping the handgun. We can see the wristwatch on there, and we're seeing those jeans for the first time as well. Those sort of faded grey-black jeans, and also the belt there with the holster on it. The level of detailing, that buckle, the belt itself, the holster itself, the watch, they all look absolutely excellent. And just about every photo here, as I mentioned before, looks like this figure could just literally get up and walk away. And I expect it to cut into another sequence from the Walking Dead. On to the next one, holding that AK-47 again. Now, interesting here is okay, the figure itself super exciting, detailing looking great, but what's in the background that piqued my interest here. Is this Daryl Dixon? Is this Norman Reedus? Are they going to give us a Norman Reedus figure? That's the big question. I would say probably they are going to, because there's something lurking in the background here that could only be Daryl. It looks like he's holding the crossbow there, and he's all in black. You can see that hairstyle, that unmistakable hairstyle there. So yeah, maybe they're going to announce a Daryl Dixon as well. I think they teased a Daryl Dixon. I think they teased 3 or 4 figures from this line, but hopefully we'll get to see that sooner rather than later. A full length shot here. Now we get to see the proportions for the first time. What can I say? Inart are knocking it out of the park, and this one seems to have gone clear out of the county. Proportions look absolutely on point to me. The fit and finish of those jeans looks great. It's suitably weathered. We've got the cowboy boots there. We'll get a close-up look at those a little bit later on. Once again, that holster. And it's a relatively simple outfit, this one. It's jeans, belt, holster, boots, and the denim jacket. But it's getting that right. I always think if you've got, the less you've got on a figure, the more you need to focus on the individual items being absolutely nailed on. And I believe that looks like it could be a Colt Python there. I am no weapons expert, but that gun looks good too. On to the next one. We've got him holding the AK-47 again. Similar distance away there, full figure shot. And once again, I am very, very impressed. The detailing on that Kalashnikov looks very good as well. And those boots too. So zipping on to the next one. We've got him holding the walkie-talkie here. Now I'm assuming both of the walkie-talkie will fit on the other side of the belt there, and it looks like he's got some kind of hold-all going on, but I'm sure we'll get to that. We are getting our first look at this base. Now, as regulars to the channel will know, I've taken issue in the past with Inart bases. They're not my favourite bases in the world. Now, they look superb, they really do. I think they are very classy. They are not over the top. They give a hint of diorama and add an air of class and grounding to the figure itself. But it's the magnet system I don't get on with. The access underneath with that circular movable doohickey that is a real ball ache to get off, and then the size of the magnets not really being substantial enough for the figure itself. It'll be interesting to see if Inart have started to address that. But the base itself fits into that category that I just mentioned of being not over the top but very classy. What we've got here is We've got all kinds of, it looks like this is meant to be the earth underneath the road section on the top of the base, which is filled with the dead, and there are corpses and skeletons and all kinds of things going on. You've got the Walking Dead logo at the front there in red, and then on the top here we've got this road surface, which and then the side of the road, so it's stood at the edge of the road here. You've got the yellow road markings and what looks like some kind of earth stroke grass going on, but I think we'll get a closer look at that further down the line. So yeah, that's our first look at the base. Moving on, once again, similar shot to the last one, flipping between the two, but it's just a black background here, and a relaxed arm holding that rifle with his hand at his hip there. And yeah, I've got to say, it looks nailed on, absolutely nailed on. Loving those forearms, the musculature in those forearms. I hope we get a close-up there, because it's the subtle details in sculpted or painted in hairs and tonal changes, muscularity and vascularity in swap-out arms that always give it away for me. But yeah, absolutely on point. And as I mentioned, I would be sticking up photos of Rick all the way through here of Mr. Lincoln, so we can get an idea of just how spot on this is. Next shot here, we've got a close-up shot of his backside, and that belt looks amazing. Now, I'm not 100% certain what this is made out of, whether we're going down, hopefully we won't be going down the pleather route. I'm hoping we'll see some leather here, but it looks like we've got nylon going on in there, maybe in that actual strapping section. It would be great to see leather here. Didn't mention that in the blurb that Inart dropped with this, but the holster looks really, really nice. And a close-up on that gun is looking phenomenal. I'm going to hazard a guess there that that's going to be an all-metal gun there, but the detailing on that handle on the gun there looks really nice with the wood effect paint applications. Pouches all look in place here, and we've got that hatchet on the left-hand side as well. We see that for the first time, and that wood effect paint up. Whether it could be wood, that handle could be wood, we don't know. I suspect it's going to be plastic, but with a wood effect paint application. Once again, belt looking great. Once again, close-up of the head there, holding the gun. Both head sculpt and gun look superb. I mean, the lighting here obviously is great. Inart's photography on this prototype is just next level, really nice. You've got some sort of shading off here, light sourced off to the left here, but yeah, absolutely scarily good head sculpting. We could be on for some of Inart's best work here, really. And that hair, once again, looking phenomenal. On to the next one. That is very rarely is Mr. Go Figure lost for words, but that is absolutely excellent. Now, I know a lot of other companies have ventured down the Walking Dead line. We've had third-party stuff, we've had all kinds of iterations of I mean, it's very much up there with The Last of Us, with everybody in the world and his brother having a crack at making the 1/6 scale figures. But I think these could very well be the definitive Walking Dead figures. That is just an amazing shot, in my opinion. Let's zip on to the next one. Another one with him, hand on hip, waist shot, above the waist shot, holding that gun. Excellent again. That is, yet again, another amazing shot. Could be lifted straight from the film. Picking out the creasing under the eyes here, the subtle creasing. This is what struck me in this photo, was the amazing texturing in that forehead area and over the bridge of the nose, but also underneath the eyes there, with that very, very subtle looseness to the skin and that aging and the slight hood over the eyes. Once again, that amazing lip texture. It'll be interesting to see how this shirt attaches as well. Will they go down the magnetic route? Will it be a snap route? Maybe it won't come off at all, because I mean, really, would you want to take your shirt off? But on to the next one, clutching the knife this time, and yeah, all looking very, very good indeed. Another shot of him holding the handgun and looking off into the middle distance. I am assuming now the eyes have moved here from that shot, so yeah, I'm assuming we're going to have the moving eyeball system in this one. Now, you've seen that from Inart before. Can be a bit difficult to access when you've got a rooted hair head sculpt, and particularly with a long style like this. Puts me in mind of the Inart pull. The trainers, you really have to get your finger underneath there, and it can feel very, very risky because the top section of the hair remains attached to almost at the crown and acts like a flap. It'd be interesting to see if they use the same system here. I am assuming they will. It can be a bit fiddly. You have to exercise caution with it, but let's wait and see. We've got a shot of his boots here on the base, and we get a chance to see that base up close. Liking the detailing here with the corpses, the buried corpses around the side. But these boots, they look phenomenal. Now, are these real leather? Are these sculpted plastic? Doesn't say in the blurb. I'm not 100% certain. To me, that looks like real leather. It will be great to see. I hope it is. Even if it's sculpted plastic, the weathering on there, the creasing in there, the detailing on the side of those cowboy boots, beautifully done. So I would love to see leather on those. We see all the accessories here in this shot on top of that base. Close up on that base, yeah, it's a rose side here. You've got green, you've got earth tones and textures, what looks like twigs and mud on the left-hand side. And we get to see that belt, and we get to see that hatchet, walkie-talkie and gun up close. Very nice indeed. And the final all shot there, we've got the 7 swap out arms, the belt, the base, the rifle, the hatchet, the knife, the walkie-talkie, the watch and the gun. And I've got to say, that is looking superb in my opinion. So let's move on to number 2 in this double header. And it's none other than Jeffrey Dean Morgan himself as Negan Smith. This first shot, once again, I am blown away by this. Worth mentioning here actually as well, this is not a rooted head sculpt on this one. This is actually sculpted plastic, and this one doesn't have swap out arms. This is working simply on a peg system. I think that's because they've gone for the full jacketed version of Negan here, rather than, whereas with Rick Grimes, they've gone for that classic sort of denim shirt rolled up, where hiding those joins between the wrist and the hand would have been a lot harder. So straight away that profile shot, once again, as with the Grimes figure, this looks like a still from the TV show to me. It looks like this figure could walk away. Incredible skin tones and textures there, down to that scar on the cheek, the eyes, that chestnut brown, the sculpt on that beard with the white flecking in there, and the creasing in the cheek area. The hairstyle looks absolutely nailed on. And that to me is, from a distance here, I would say that, if you ask me, I would say that was a still of the actor himself, of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Onto this one now. This section here, this section that he's leaning on, is part of the diorama base. And what you've got going on here is that season 8 look. So he's got the leather jacket on. I am fingers crossed this is going to be a leather jacket and not a pleather jacket. You've got that red bandana going on. He's holding the handgun and he's wearing the gloves. But probably the most important thing here is that, once again, is that head sculpt. Phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. Unmistakably Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Unmistakably Negan Smith. Fantastic. Full-length shot here. We're seeing for the first time the proportions, and I think because a lot of these actors got older. He's been running for 11 seasons, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan did get a little bit stockier throughout from the run of this, but I think they've nailed the proportions here from that season, and yeah, absolutely on point. You've got the boots there that are suitably weathered. Once again, I'm hoping they're leather. You've got those dark jeans, you've got the belts with the machete, the biker jacket, fingers crossed leather. We've got his trademark baseball bat with the barbed wire around it, wrapped around it with the blood spatter on it, and once again that amazing head sculpt. This is a fantastic shot because they've literally copied a still from the show itself, where he's introducing himself, shall we say, or threatening with the baseball bat, and absolutely fantastic, lit from behind, as was the scene in the show itself, and just great. That head sculpt is looking absolutely marvelous. On to the next one, a side shot here. Got him in sort of 3/4 profile, and I can't say enough good things about this. That graining in that leather, but I mean it's hard to say from the graining whether it's pleather or leather, but I'm really hoping It is real leather there, and the detailing is great. And that we could be on for a figure of the or figures of the year with the quality of these head sculpts, in my opinion. On to the next one, onto that diorama base. Now it looks to me like the planted section of the diorama base is going to be exactly the same as the Rick Grimes one, with the corpses there and the Waking Dead. Difference here is you've got this sort of concrete section, which I'm assuming is going to be sculpted plastic, with this sort of rails on top of it that are painted yellow. We've got him relaxing on those rails, and it just looks amazing, absolutely amazing. Although when I looked at this for the first time, it had, for some strange reason, Freddie Mercury went through my head. I don't know why, but that's probably just an old man's eyesight. But yeah, we get to see the t-shirt underneath. The jacket's actually undone for the first time. No bandana on this time. And we see that baseball bat again. Yeah, let's zip on to the next one. Now, one glove on, as he was wont to do. Really nice shot of that head sculpt. I love the expression they've gone for here with Jeffrey D. Morgan. There's a sort of smirk there, because we know just how unpleasant this man can be. And we've got that sort of knowing evil smile going on, with the eyes off to one side. So once again, I think we've got the separate eyeball moving system going on here as well, and that leather jacket looking great with the 1/6 scale zips. On to the next one. The pair of them together. Now this, it really is a treat to see 1/6 scale figures of this quality. They just pair up beautifully. And thumbs up to the photographer here for this one as well. We've got liking this pose a lot. That tells you everything you need to know about the character. The boots are looking great. Once again, these jeans, these grey jeans, are looking absolutely on point. And you've got that visible white shirt as well. Let's zip on to the next. I can see the photographer must have had an absolute riot doing these. You've got him holding the baseball bat over his shoulder and leaning back somewhat in that semi-comical pose. Let's zip on to the next one. Full on here, we've got the jacket done up with the red bandana back on, clutching the baseball bat again. Liking this is obviously on the base because the railings are in the background with a higher light source coming in, and I think it just looks amazing. You really see the detailing in that sculpted moustache and beard there in those skin tones. He's been bit. I love this swap out hand. They give him a swap out hand with the bite mark in there, and the blood spatter onto the leather, and the gnarly flesh underneath where it's been bitten. It's got that wet look. It just looks very, very convincing, and a nice little touch there from Inart to include that hand. Got him holding the knife here, looking off to the middle distance. Knife looks really well done. Don't know whether that's going to be metal or plastic. Probably plastic, I would suspect, but the proportions look right, and the paint applications look great. Another one of him leaning against that railing by the looks of it, clutching the baseball bat. And these they can get a little bit samey, but the vibe I'm getting from these is a photographer who was just having an absolute riot. And this happens to me sometimes when I'm doing showcases at the end of reviews, and regulars to the channel will know what I mean. Is I start posing the figures and taking the shots for the showcase section of the review, which always comes at the end. And sometimes I just can't stop. I am having such a wonderful time that I end up with about 25 minutes of film that I've got to trim down to 2 minutes for the showcase. But it looks like that this is what's going on for the photographer here. We've got him leaning against the railing here. Let's keep going. We've got him leaning against it again, but looking in a different direction. We've got weapon out here, so we see the gun, the handgun. Let's keep going. Oh, shot of close up at the base there. That concrete there, which looks like it's been broken. Nice weathering in between those what look like concrete or some kind of flagstones. And we get to see these boots. Now, I'm going to cross fingers again for real leather here. They look fantastic, these biker boots. Weathered on there. The buckles look brilliant. The creasing around the ankle area, everything looks absolutely on point. And I make no apologies for this being a gush fest. Close up of that baseball bat, I'm assuming that's all going to be sculpted plastic, but the detailing and paint applications look great. Another close up of the base there. We've got the gun, we've got the knife, the baseball bat, all laid out there. and another close-up of a sort of head and shoulders shot of Jeffrey D. Morgan there. Fantastic head sculpt, absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Another hint at Daryl Dixon there, Norman Reedus, another expressive shot, and finally the all shot. And the screen goes very bright. So yeah, you've got the bandana, the base, the baseball bat, knife, gun, interchangeable hands here, gloved and ungloved, and obviously that belt as well. So there you have it, folks. That is Inart's take on Mr. Grimes and Mr. Smith from the Walking Dead. What are your thoughts on these figures? Are you a fan of the TV series? Are they a no-brainer for you? Are they an easy pass? I would love to hear your take on these pieces. From my perspective, I could very well be going all in with these just because of the sheer quality of them and not necessarily IP, but I will be fascinated to hear your take. So please drop a comment in the comment section below. What's your take on the show itself? What's your take on Inart? What's your take on the figures? As I say, nothing off menu. What we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got plenty more previews. We have some retro reviews. We've got new figure reviews. We've got stuff from Hot Toys, from Susu Toys, Present Toys, Inart, Caustic Plastic, Exo6, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We have showcases, we have tours, we have all manner of stuff coming up. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon, and hit that like and hype button as it helps other people find the channel. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching this preview. Hope it's been useful for you. And until next time on the channel, take care of yourselves and happy collecting.